My name is Eleni Kaldis. I am a senior social work major and I'm from Norridge, Illinois. So the entire idea of CAPS being calling and purpose in society has something that really caught my attention at first. I've always been the kind of person who is always trying to discover the next step, the next best way to serve people, the best way that I think just works for me and my skills and my strengths as to how to help people. So hearing about a program that would give you the experience to figure that out was pretty awesome. Definitely caught my eye. Definitely wanted to be something I wanted to look into regardless if I was offered a fellowship. So just the entire purpose behind it was really something that kind of drew me to coming and getting more engaged. I definitely think students or anybody looking to apply should be questioning what service means to them and what they think their definition of that is as a first step. And then a second step, which may seem kind of disconnected from the purpose, but I think students should ask themselves, do I want to have a summer experience doing this? I mean, it takes up time, you have to put your energy into it, you have to be invested into it. If you're not prepared to do that and to make the experience your own, I really wouldn't recommend applying then. Sure. So I was at Erie Neighborhood House in Chicago. Erie Neighborhood House serves predominantly Latino communities, low income, kind of on the outside of the city. It's really just kind of a huge resource center that really builds community, really gets everyone involved and kind of draws on everyone's strengths and what they can offer, which was a really cool thing to see as a social work major and just as someone looking to figure out what service means. My tasks, I was at two locations. I was at the Westtown location and at the Little Village location. So at Westtown I worked with my supervisor and another coworker in the Health and Leadership Programs department. And then in Little Village I worked with the Proyecto Cuídate program. Both had different focuses. Proyecto Cuídate had more of a direct approach to groups. It had different groups for parents and kids just to kind of give them more resources, and then Health and Leadership focused more on public health. I think my favorite task I did this summer was creating a curriculum and then also co-creating and facilitating a healthy cooking club for elementary school kids and for middle school kids. That was a lot of fun. I went into my internship with a question of what does effective serving look like and how can I best do that? And that's kind of been the theme of my life for the past couple of years, just since being at Valpo, trying to discover what that is. So moving forward, I mean, just from what I discovered over the summer is that I don't have to have it figured out. I don't have to know exactly how I want to serve, but I discovered that I keep learning better ways and better ways how to do it just depending on the environment I'm in. So I think like my biggest takeaway from how to take what I learned moving forward is to stop having a dream job and to start taking each experience that I have and then taking what I can from it and the service that I learned to do from that experience and then move it to the next interesting thing and then from that move it to the next one and keep working on that definition of how I want to serve people and then eventually figure out the one thing I really want to do further down the line. So just as a social work major and as who I am and who I've grown up, I've always been a very reflective person. So using the reflections over the summer definitely enhanced what we were already doing. It was nice to be able to come together as a group with the other CAPS fellows every month and not only discuss a piece of writing and how that connects to our own experience, but then also hear about how everyone else's experience is going and then take what they're learning and say, wow, how can I apply this to my own experience and my own fellowship? So it was definitely helpful, definitely enhanced the CAPS fellow experience. I think reflection is super important for you to really get the best out of your internship. So I've had internship experiences through Valpo, just from being in the social work department that required, but I never had one quite like this CAPS experience because this summer I was expecting, going in, I was expecting kind of observation, it's kind of like a disconnected role from the rest of the agency, when actually I was thrown in, I was doing the work, which I had never actually done at that point, actually working in the nonprofit agency and being an integral part of the entire process, which was amazing. So that was definitely a new experience that I hadn't gotten from Valpo yet.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a real life experience instead of just academic observation, connecting what I learned in class in the field. Instead it was, I'm doing field and I'm like drawing from the class stuff like in the back of my head.
That's great.